Yes, hey, hi there, and hello. My name is Mark Burst. You're watching the burst mode here on Anchor/YouTube. I'm trying something new today, something a little bit more fun. I've had such a great time on Anchor doing these live gameplay shows, which we do from time to time, covering Android games, but I cover all kinds of other games on the show too, so why not do some live gameplay live while we're here? For those of you watching on YouTube, hi, hello. You can also listen to this stuff live as it's happening on Anchor. Anchor is this new way to listen to radio. If you're listening on Anchor, you know that. It's this really cool take on what radio could be if it were created today, reinvented in the age of the internet. It's a lot like a podcast, but it's broken down into segments, and it's great. I do a show there. I also do the rundown there, and it's just fantastic. Those of you on Anchor, thanks for dealing with that. We're playing a game called Dead Cells. I found this game a little while ago when researching some other gaming related stuff. I wound up going down a rabbit hole of former EGM writers, and then wound up seeing some reactions of polygons on Polygon in reaction to Dead Cells, and I had to have it. I absolutely had to have it. Dead Cells is a Metroidvania style roguelite. Okay? Does that make any sense at all? This game, what you're hearing right now is I just spawned. This game is roguelike in that when you die, you're dead. There's permadeath in this game. The object of this game is to make it as far as you can. The music's pretty good. I usually keep the music turned off because of... There we go. Because of the fact that I usually play music of my own when I'm playing games, so I don't usually keep the music turned up. However, for y'all, I'd be willing to. Oh, that's why the music wasn't working, because I accidentally muted it instead of actually turning the music on. So the idea here is you can hear the music now. This game is fun. You play this dude, sort of like a Prince of Persia style movement right out of the gate, with lots of running and dodging. And the combat is really incredibly deep. So it's roguelike in that you die and you lose everything, but it's like Metroidvania in that it's a side-scroller with an enormous amount of variety with respect to weaponry and enemies and places to go and things to do and ways to play the game. Not just in strategy, but actual different places to visit. If you're familiar with Binding of Isaac or Spelunky, you'll understand how a roguelike works. So, the reason this is roguelite is because you don't lose everything when you die. And you don't lose as much as you generally would in a roguelike for something like this. In the Binding of Isaac, all you're really doing is unlocking other items. And for the most part, what happens during the run doesn't change that. But in Dead Cells, that's what's different. In Dead Cells, you're actually going out of your way to kill as many enemies as possible so that when you reach a laboratory in between levels, you can trade in the souls of the enemies that you killed. And those souls will allow you to unlock new weaponry, new skills, new items, new abilities, all kinds of stuff. Now, the reason the audio changed there is because we entered a shop here. We are inside a shop that allows us to spend the gold that we've earned throughout our playthrough on some items. Unfortunately, we don't have anything like that right now, but we did just find a sword with unlimited, or a bow and arrow with unlimited arrows. When you find items throughout the game, those items will only appear if you have put enough souls into the blueprint to make the blueprint available. And while you're playing through the game, you'll discover blueprints throughout these maps. It's a great progression system that feels really rewarding. So I just made it to this lab. So I've got 13 dead cells here for the enemies that I killed. Let's dump this into something we could use sooner rather than later. How about the blood sword? If it's your first time crafting that item here, it'll pull it out of the lab for you. So you'll actually get access to that weapon if you've never used it before right away, which is really, really nice. On top of all that, the way that the health works is, I think, really rather inspired. You get more health through these progressions, which we'll talk about very shortly. But the health flask that you have which is your only means of replenishment, is also variable in size. So I spent a lot of time in the early game making sure that I upgraded my health flask so that it could hold 2 drinks of health potion. At first it only holds 1. Eventually I'll be able to unlock the next level up that'll hold 3 drinks so that I can heal myself. You're going to encounter a lot of the same enemies throughout these maps, but the difficulty level goes up very quickly. And the deeper in the game that you go, the harder these enemies are going to hit. And it is a little bit jarring at first, because you see an enemy that you realize is something you're used to, but the damage it deals that part is not roguelite at all. That part is very roguelike. They deal a lot of damage in the later levels. Overall, the presentation on this game has been really to die for. It's very pixely. The music has been great. The combat feels so fluid. So why don't we talk about that combat a little bit more? We'll talk about a few of the other things that we like about this game, some other comparisons, some recommendations, and some other roguelikes you might want to check out if you're into something like this. So the combat in this game is absolutely delightful. You have a double jump. There are items that will grant you a third. You have a ground slam that stuns enemies. And enemies are they telegraph their moves a lot like Dark Souls. A lot of folks are comparing this to Dark Souls in terms of combat, and I agree. These enemies will murder you if you are not careful. If you think you're safe and you think you could just jab the button faster to make it and kill them before they kill you, you are not going to have a good time playing this game. You need to calculate your moves. Luckily, they do a great job of equipping you. Ooh, fantastic. We just found a treasure chest. Oh, man. Fantastic. We got an Assassin's Dagger level 3. Each of the items has a level assigned to it, so you might find another Assassin's Dagger later that isn't only a higher level and is more powerful, but has a different unique perk that is also randomly generated each time. So right now we just picked up an Assassin's Dagger that does 25% more damage and inflicts a critical blow when you backstab the enemy, and enemies explode upon death for this one. And that last one is exclusive to just this particular sword, right? It's not something that happens all the time with this particular sword or this model of sword. It's something that happens only because I have this one. So the next time I pick up a sword like this, it might have a different sword. The combat, so like right now I'm like a little bit under half dead, so I'm gonna drink some of this potion because I got a little sloppy. The combat really demands that you pick and choose your engagements, that you flee when you need to, and that you, most importantly, take advantage of your dodge ability. Because without that, you're gonna have a very hard time avoiding the hits that you're gonna need to avoid in order to prevent your death. The death is another aspect of this game that I think is very roguelike, very much true to form with roguelike games. Dying in this game hurts a lot, and I think that's good. I think it should. Dying in a roguelike should hurt, and it should hurt a lot. It should feel like you messed up bad. And when you die, because when you've got like 14 cells with you, or worse, upwards of 30 cells that you're trying to trade in at the end of the map, it's like you feel it. You feel it. It's phenomenal. And I can't stop playing it. And the best part about it, I think, is that it is still in early access. This game isn't even out yet. It's not even remotely close to being out. And they're already letting us play it. They're already getting feedback from us. They're already responding to feedback from fans. I'm blown away by this game. This is one of the games that I find myself playing constantly these days. And I haven't felt this way about a game since The Binding of Isaac, which is the last roguelike game that I really fell in love with in a really big... Oh, run away! Oh my god! A bomb almost got me there. Oh, that was terrible and terrifying. Oh, no, I fell down. There we go, I died. I lost 15 cells. So that was one run of dead cells. That's just one run. I start with 696 gold on this particular run because that's 40% of the amount of gold that I had in the last run. And now you can kind of see what happens. You can see all these jars here. These all get full. That sound you're hearing on Anchor. These all get full of the items that you're unlocking. It's fantastic. It's infinitely replayable. It's beautifully designed. The combat feels great, and this game isn't even finished yet. I'm positively blown away. Go and check out Dead Cells. You can find it for about $15, sometimes less, on sale on Steam. And absolutely let them know where you heard about it and that you're enjoying the game. This is the kind of indie game that I get so excited in. This is great. Go and check out this game.